I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem HaKakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders. Great millstone, the rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Now, this is going to be a swift lesson, all right, going into having a contingency plan. And I'm going to mention this in a carnal and spiritual way because, yes, you do have to prepare yourself carnally for these times to come. Okay, you do lean on the Lord, in the end all be all, but you need to prepare carnally, whether it be working out, setting a contingency plan, which I'm going to go into, and I'm speaking on the carnal side, stocking up on certain canned goods, waters, first aid kits, if you have tourniquets, things of that nature, certain gear that you may need to purchase, things of that nature, little small necessities, actually make a bug out bag, purchase some MREs, which are meals ready to eat. I used to eat those all the time when I was in the military. These are things that are materials or items that go with the carnal contingency plan, because you're going to need a carnal one as well. Okay? So I'm going to read what a contingency plan is, just a base definition. It says a contingency plan is a roadmap created by management to help an organization respond to an event that may or may not happen in the future. May or may not happen, meaning it doesn't matter, you're prepared for whatever. We do that in the spirit by following the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. That's our contingency. We read Revelation, I think it's like 20, where it talks about, them being beheaded. We read about Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1. And we play scenarios out in our mind that may or may not happen to us. So we are mentally, spiritually prepared for those things down the pipeline. You see? We read 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, and things of that nature to prepare ourselves. We read Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter. All these things, okay? So we can create a spiritual contingency plan in our mind, okay? Now, like I was mentioning with the carnal, a good carnal contingency plan to have is knowing the prime example, knowing your square footage of your home, knowing the little nooks and crannies. So, prime example, if an intruder or an insurgent comes to your or invades your property and it's pitch black, you don't want to turn the lights on to give away your position. But since you know all the nooks and crannies, the corners, the turns of your house, you can easily guide yourself to a safer destination or end up actually taking that individual out. And you had a plan, if you had kids or a rib in your house, you had a plan to where if something like this does happen, they know what route to take if an intruder comes in through the back door or through the garage or through the front door. Okay, since he's coming through the front, we're going to go this way, and your whole family knows the contingency plan. If this were to happen, doesn't mean it's going to. But hey, you never know, because the times that we're going into, the scriptures say it, there will be invading one another, okay? There will be sedition among men, civil unrest. I've seen some videos of Edomites talking about civil war. You watch the movie Bushwick. They just bust into houses. You didn't, and a lot of people don't plan for these things because they don't think it's going to happen. They think it's far-fetched. They think it's just movies. It's not the case. You have to set a contingency plan for yourself and for the people who you love, okay, to keep them in safety. You have to have contingency plans, carnal and spiritual. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to one of my favorite precepts. This is Proverbs chapter 16:1. It says, the preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Now, the word preparations means the organization, all right, or the arrangement. So, of course, we know the word heart in Hebrew is lab, and that means your mind. So the Lord will prepare or arrange or organize your mind, okay, as fit, as need, as necessary, as what fits you. And that's how your contingency plan comes spiritually and carnally, okay? And we're going to back this. It says the answer of the tongue is from the Lord, right? So let's skip down to verse 3. So how do you think these preparations in your mind from Yahushua come? It's if you do this. Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy works unto the Lord. So when you commit yourself unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, therefore he will prepare you for these times to come. Now, with that being said, there are things that you have to do on your end to exercise this wisdom and this knowledge that the Lord gives you. Start coming up with your contingency plans for these times to come. Stock up on your certain canned goods. You know, I know certain individuals or bros that I speak with, they got deep freezers. They buy tents. They buy sleeping bags. And if you do it legally, you can actually buy a firearm. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? We just don't flaunt that crap like these other camps do. That's not how you do it, okay? It's just for contingency purposes. I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and in my dojo, the head man in there, he would always tell us, I'm teaching you these things so you never have to use it, but it's in your arsenal, okay? It sounds kind of crazy, but you learn some type of martial arts or whatever, you're not going out to the streets to actually beat the shit out of somebody with what you learn. It's for self-defense. At the end of the day, you technically don't want to use it. But if you have to, you have that in your arsenal. You've learned it as a contingency plan for yourself. So with certain things in the carnal sect, because look, we are fighting spiritual battle, but we are still in the carnal realm, which you have to master as well. And I'm not saying master in an evil sense. You have to have the temperance, and you have to actually balance it out in the carnal sect, because we're still here. And then balance your spirit, okay? And come up with these contingency plans for if something may or may not happen. Don't be stuck on stupid in that day when all hell break loose and you got a backpack that's empty full of pens and paper. You can't blame nobody but yourself. I remember Apostle Tahar did a lesson one time, and when it came to financial, he's like, it is your fault if you have $10 in your pocket, and it's your fault if you have $10,000 in your pocket. Okay? So it's the same thing when all hell breaks loose. If you don't have anything to eat, drink, or support your family, that's your fault because you didn't premeditate and have a contingency plan. We've been warned for so long that there's a famine coming. There's going to be bad times coming. Why would you not stock up a little something? Have some waters, lighters, matches, first aid kits, things of that nature. We are still in the carnal realm. Yes, the Lord will provide. Yes, the Lord may even give you spiritual powers to where you don't need those things. But a contingency plan is if it may or may not happen. Simple. Okay? It says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Right. Your thoughts shall be established. Let's get the word thought real quick in the blue letter. And if I'm not mistaken, that's machawa. No, let me see. No, that's ma. Let's see. I think that's machashaba. machashaba, if I'm saying that correctly, and it means a thought, device, or a plan, or purpose, right? A plan. So when you commit yourself to the Lord, your thoughts shall be established. Your plans will be established, and it's pivotal for you to have this contingency plan and for it to be established and set in stone. That reminds me of what? Of Colossians. I want to say Colossians 3, where it tells you to be rooted. Let's see. Bear with me. I forgot to type it in. I think it is 3. Rooted. Colossians 2, Salakia. Colossians 2, and start at 6, it says, as ye have received, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushai, the Lord, also walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Right. So you're established in your faith, okay? And the preparations of that the Lord has set for you, you establish your faith in that, and that may be the plan that He devised within your mind, your conscience, of what you need to do to be self-sufficient. You could say when this time hits, there will be moments where all of us brothers may experience our Garden of Gethsemane where we're by ourselves before the Lord maybe links us up with a brother in that day. You don't know how things are going to play out, but it's good just to have a general contingency plan before going into that day. Prime example, before you take a test, do you not study? The studying is the contingency for the test. That's the plan before the test. My plan is to study, get this knowledge, know it, and then actually put it on paper and show my wisdom. You see? And actually execute it. It's the same thing that we have to do today. A contingency plan must be made in every bro household, regardless of what it is. It's a contingency plan is something that will suit you and your personal, preference or your personal life. Everybody's not going to live the same. Some brothers got ribs and kids. Some brothers are single. Okay? Some brothers live with other brothers. Contingency plans will be different for each individual, but just have one at least. Have one. Okay? At least have one. And the reason why I kind of hit home on the carnal side of having a contingency plan, read the book of Maccabees. They had tactical movements. All right? They weren't out there flying around and teleporting and things of that nature. They had carnal tactical movements and contingency plans, which end up putting a dent in the Grecian army, okay, or the Seleucid army, okay. When you look up the Maccabean War, I think this was around the 6th Syrian War. They crippled the Seleucid Empire by contingency plans and tactical movements to get from A to B and get them off them. Simple. But the Lord was with them the whole time. That's why their plans worked. You see? And when this time of trouble comes, the Lord may not necessarily, I'm speaking as a man, may not necessarily immediately give you the spiritual powers to get out of a certain predicament. The Lord just made, that's why the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time. He may make you rely on the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you have gotten throughout the years from the Bible to get out of certain situations. You may not be teleporting and flying and busting through shit off the rip. You may be on some Book of Eli shit for a little bit. And then your faith builds up, and then you start doing that. Have your contingency plan set, but always keep the Lord first and foremost and your faith rooted and built up. So that's all I wanted to come with today. Lord willing, this was edifying, and it may hopefully got your mental faculties working to actually start making a contingency plan and preparing for these times to come. Okay? But with that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai by Shema Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Brother Kasha Kwam. Until the next time. Shalom.